Hello ladies and gentlemen, vBlackWolf here, and today we're going to talk about which characters are worth upgrading in Just 2 Mobile in 2021, which ones of those are worth taking to level 60 gears, and which ones of those are worth taking all the way to level 70 gears. Because as we know, the gear materials are kind of scarce in Just 2 Mobile, so you need to spend them wisely if you want to have an optimal progress. So, before getting into this list, we're going to establish a few rules. We're not going to put much accent on tanks, because tanks in Just 2 Mobile are not good and are not needed for any game mode. Combo builders, yes sir! Combo builders are great, but characters that just tank are not that relevant because there's no mode that's very demanding for characters to tank. At the same time, you can make your combo builders tanky because the tankiness is mostly from the talents and gear rolls and a little bit less from the passive. Another thing is the fact that this is not a tier list about the best characters. You'll see quite low on this tier list characters that are very good, but that's not going to be for the reason that they are not good, but for the reason that they are going to fill the role of a support character in a team, and that means that while they are very good again, you are not going to necessarily need to upgrade them. And then, this is just my personal opinion, and you can feel free to voice your disagreements with this video down in the comments. But please do watch the video before doing that, because always when I do this tier list, people are like, why is this character in that tier? And then I'm like, did you watch the video? I just said in the video, and they are like, oh no, I'm going to watch it. Oh, fine. But yeah, watch it. We're going to we can talk about it, but first of all, watch it, because I'm going to try and specify why I have certain opinions about each of those characters. But yeah, with all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Only takes one click and we can always change your mind, and let's get into it. So, discussing a little bit about the tiers, let's start from bottom to top and then we'll go on the characters on each tier. But yeah, on the bottom tier we'll have silvers. We'll encounter silvers in the highest tier, higher tiers, but over here we'll have silvers that you don't really have any reason to upgrade. With silvers, their gears don't drop from raid drops, so you'll have to take them all the way from level 1 or level 20, whatever level they drop from the campaign. They don't drop higher than 20, and take them all the way to level 70. And while you can do that if you have a maxed out account with everything else that you need, if you've got that, you're most likely not watching this video. Next up, it will be Shattered raid drops. This will be characters that are just so bad that it's not even necessarily worth keeping their raid drops for Champions Arena to play them there, but if you want to, you can keep them. Then it's going to be the keep raid drops or good support silvers. In this tier, we're going to have characters that are going to be either good enough for you to keep the raid drops, to use them in CA, but at the same time not good enough to be worth investing much into them yourself, except for the random drops. And then we'll have support silver characters that again you shouldn't really invest anything into them, but you should consider using them as support characters in teams where you need to. Next up, we have the get to level 60 gears if you want to. Over here, we'll have characters that are going to be good to upgrade, but at the same time not mandatory to upgrade. So if you want or need to upgrade any of those characters, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world, but you should focus on the higher tiers. Next up, we're going to have the tier get to level 60, maybe 70. Characters that are worth getting to level 60 gears, are going to perform well for level 70 gears, are going to be worth your investment. But at the same time, you don't have to take them to level 70 gears. You can, but you don't have to. Next up, we're going to have characters that tier list that is get to level 60 gears then to 70, meaning that you get them to level 60 gears, but don't prioritize them in terms of getting to level 70 gears, but prioritize the characters in the tier above for that. And then we're going to have get to level 70 gears tier, characters that you should prioritize getting to level 70 gears because they perform amazingly, but at the same time, you shouldn't get any characters straight away to level 70 gears. You should gradually upgrade your roster and your good characters, getting many of them to level 60 gears before even thinking to proceed to level 70 gears. And let's get into the actual tiers now. So the first tier is going to be silvers, and not great silvers. Again, we'll see silvers in the tiers above, and most of those characters over here are pretty garbage. And some characters are quite decent, like Silver Cyborg, Silver Green Arrow, Silver Superman, but at the same time, you're not going to benefit that much from having them upgraded to the point where getting them to all the way to level 60 gears is going to actually do a lot for you to be worth the investment. So while there's some good stuff in here, there's some terrible stuff in here. For example, Silver Scarecrow. None of those are something that I recommend investing any resources into. Like, the only reason why you would invest resources in any of those characters would be for the fun factor, because even with those that are pretty good, there's stuff that does their job but better. So the only reason that you have to invest in those is the fun factor. And if you want to go ahead and build the Silver Swamp Thing, there's nobody stopping you, but I do advise against it, and I think in the future if you do that, you will come to regret it. Okay, so as we know, there's goods to keep your raid drops that you get even for characters that you don't plan on upgrading or ever getting to level 60 gears on the long run or investing any resource into them, because you are going to eventually use them in Champions Arena. But yeah, over here there's some characters that I think are so terrible that you can't even shatter the gears on them. Like, again, I'll be honest, this tier is for me just to trash talk those characters. If you want to, you can keep their gears and use them in Champions Arena if you're playing that constantly, I guess. But yeah, Cheetah is garbage, Enraged Bane is terrible, Firestorm has a garbage passive that might be useful. I don't think you ever use that, but in theory it could be useful. So we'll have people over here defending Master Thief Catwoman most likely. Sigvald, you can use her in the operations. She's not that terrible. She gives you more credits. Okay, you don't need gear for that. Outplayed. Let's go. Powered Supergirl, she's garbage. Primal something. He's a meme at this point. Sonny Black Canary, the second worst character in the game. Sorcerer Dr. Fate, I guess you could keep the gears on this one because the super move is particularly useful in Arena Champions Arena. Hinge Harley Quinn, I guess she could be fun. But yeah, I'm just trash talking those characters a little bit. I'm sorry. You can keep the gears for them. You can do that. You can do that and use them in CA, but they are just terrible. Okay, now I got over here keep raid drops or good silver supports. Let's first go into the good silver supports category. Over here we got silver characters that you still should not build, but I put them here because I want you to consider using them as support characters if needed. Silver Flash is going to give you some fast attack chance. Silver Aquaman is going to give you some stun resistance if paired with might opponents. That might come in handy when fighting boss Last Savage Joker in Apocalypse or raids. Enraged Bane is going to give you critical attack chance and damage on basic attacks, which is actually great. And Silver Green Lantern at the same time is going to give you a shield that's equal to a percentage of your health when entering the battle, and you can't be damaged while that shield is active. So all those two, especially Enraged Bane, not Enraged Bane, excuse me, Silver Bane and Silver Green Lantern are going to be good characters, but at the same time they're going to do their job without you needing to put any gears on them. Next up, we got Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. Like, she has a shield, she has some armor piercing, she's Arena NCA material, but at the same time, no need to invest any further into her. Next up, Unbreakable Cyber. He revives, he has a stun, he has a power drain. Let's not trash talk this man that much. He's okay for Arena and Champions Arena, but you have no reason to invest your resources in. Telekinetic Gorilla Growth has a shield, can do an infinite combo with Firebox, gets the opponent back into the fight. That's decent for Arena and Champions Arena. Sub-Zero, yet again, he's able to spam freeze, winning your arena fights that way, and he's able to clone opponents, but for that he doesn't need to be built. Starfire, she's a tank, she's a pretty good tank, but as I said, we don't care about tanks. If you want to care about tanks, that's your business, but in this game we don't care about tanks. Nightwing, Jack of all trades, master of none. White Canary, like, she can be used in some very niche Silver Banshee team. Other than that, she's the garbage. Multiverse Supergirl, again, she's very good in Arena. She has a freeze on the special too, but she can perform those things without being upgraded. Multiverse Green Arrow, like, he's an all-round good character, but I wouldn't really justify getting him to level 60 gears with your own resources unless you get them from raid drops. But if you get them from raid drops, you can build him for the fun factor. Next up, we're going to have Multiverse Captain Cold. Again, not really a reason to build him, but he can prove useful. Multiverse Batwoman, a character that would be pretty good if Multiverse Armored Supergirl did not exist, but unfortunately she exists and that makes her useless. Multiverse Black Lightning, a pretty useful character for Arena and Champions Arena, nothing more than that. Next up, Nightmare Batman, the most annoying character to fight in a defensive CA team, and a pretty solid tank, but we don't care much about tanks. Next up, we got Just League Batman. He's got an okay passive, I guess, but he's the worst Just the character, so no need to build him. Horrific Scarecrow, a pretty versatile support, but no need to build him because he's a support and he's just there to provide the passive stats just by being in the team. Grid, again, he's a pretty decent tank, a pretty decent support when fighting the Justice League team, but doesn't need to be built. Flora Poison Ivy, she can be a pretty good damage dealer for Arena and Champions Arena. She's got that sweet specialty with Armor Pierce that's map wide, can't be jumped over, or can it? I don't remember. She's good, but she doesn't need to be built. Emerald Green Lantern, again, a pretty good support character, a pretty good character himself as a fighter, but he does not need to be built. Atrocitus, literally the same deal as it is with Emerald Green Lantern, a very solid support character, but doesn't need to be built to do that. Dark Supergirl, a very badly implemented character. Like, in theory, she sounds amazing, but when you figure out that her tagging can't chain into a basic attack combo or a special attack, and you figure that by the time your buff or tagging in is over, you'll not be able to do anything. So, yeah. They really did wrong on this one. Could have been a pretty good character. But she can still be useful. Captain Cold, again, an average character. You don't need to invest anything into him, but he can prove useful. Silver Batman, he's an average character himself, and he can passively buff your Batmans just by being in your roster. So definitely good to have in your roster, but not necessary to build him. Next up, we got Batman Harlequin. Batman Harlequin, yet again, you should actually do your best to get this character to 6 stars in level 70 as soon as possible, because she provides percentage of her passive attack and her passive health to the Batman characters just by being in your roster. So she's great to have that 6 stars, great to have at level 70 gears, but it's just the passive attack and health, so there's not much of a reason to get her gears upgraded. Batman, again, the worst Batman character. He can be useful in Arena and Champions Arena, so that's why it's good to have his gears, but don't invest anything into him. Blue Beetle, an attempt to be a jack of all trades, does a worse job than Nightwing at it, and Armored Superman. Every one of you will have it. He'll be a decent support because of the defense he provides, a decent tank, but you don't need to build him. Again, if you wanted to, you could build any of those characters that I've mentioned in this tier, and I would be far happier if you build any of those compared to any of those in the tiers below. But at the same time, you don't have any real reason except for the fun factor to build those characters, so if you want to, nobody's going to stop you. But trust me, you will regret eventually building an unbreakable cyborg, and I can't take your mistake away at that point, so better listen to me now. Next up, let's go to the next tier. So over here we're going to have some characters that are going to be called get to level 60 gears if you want to, and I'm going to explain in terms of each and every one of them, and for those ones, and from now on I've kind of tried to order them like in sections, because they're not ordered from best words, they're ordered from what's the reasoning behind it. So Batman Ninja Robin, he's going to be an amazing character himself. He's going to be a must-have support character for the Batman Ninja team. If you build him, he'll perform amazingly for you, but at the same time, you don't have to build him. You have to have him. You have to have him at high star rating. You have to have him in the Batman Ninja team. But you don't need to build him because he's there just to provide the passives. If you build him, he'll perform amazing in Arena and Champions Arena, but in Raids and Soul Raids he'll still be useless because he will always be in the same team with Batman Ninja Catwoman. And that means that she will be the damage dealer, making him, and Gorilla Guard will be the combo builder, making him just a support character that never gets tagged in, literally never. So while you can find some benefits into upgrading him, and I could see why you would do that, you don't need to. Next up, Arkham Knight Batman, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best legendary characters, one of the best legendary characters in the entire game. Like, look, this guy is going to be amazing, but the thing is, his main role is to be a support character for the Heartbreak Harlequin team. That meaning that he will need to tag into the fight and stun the enemy. And he will need to tank a little bit. And normally I would say, yeah, build him because he will need to not die. But the thing is, he's got an amazing passive that makes him extremely tanky without you putting any resources into him. So I guess you could get him to level 20, level 40 gears and leave him over there for a very long time without ever getting him to level 60 gears. Like getting him to level 60, then maybe 70 if you want to, will of course provide a little bit more damage to your Heartbreak Harley Quinn team, but it's not enough to really be worth it. And for what he needs to do, he's going to be able to do that without being upgraded. Again, if you upgrade him, I can't blame you. He's going to be a great character, but he's not a priority in my book. Next up, again, a character over here. As you have seen, we have a trend over here with characters that can be useful and are present in some raid and soul raid team. So far, those characters will tell you when we get to the next category. So Power Girl, same thing. She'll be in one of the top teams alongside with Reverse Flash and with Silver Banshee. And she's going to be a great support character because she reduces the power cost. She's going to be a must-have support character. That team would not exist without her. But at the same time, literally everything she does is she gets tagged in to take the super move. And I guess you can upgrade her to the point where she is able to tank the super move and survive and not die, because if she dies, then Silver Banshee might get tagged in and get killed afterwards. But after that point, there's no real reason to upgrade her except for the fun factor. Next up, Red Hood, literally same thing as Power Girl, though this time he needs to do two things. That one, he's going to be a staple in the normal raids multiverse team. He's going to be seen in the Rise of Apocalypse Soul raids sometimes with the super move. But for the multiverse team against Captain Cold, he needs to do two things: tank the Captain Cold super move and do his own super move at the same time to extend the duration of the fight, because that's why he's in the team. So over here, you can not build him at all, but you have to time it very correctly. Like tag him in, his super move, and then Captain Cold's super move follows right after. But that's a little bit hard to do. If you want to make things easier for yourself, you can build him to the point where he's able to survive the Captain Cold super move, so you run that thing risk-free. So I could understand why you would want to build some, to put some resources into him, but other than that, no real reason. Next up, Classic Superman. Again, a staple in some of the raids and soul raids teams. He's going to reduce the defense against characters with high defense by using his special 2, and that's going to be particularly useful against sub-bosses in normal raids and characters with very high armor in soul raids. And while that is very useful, you don't need to build him, because in order to do special 2s, he does not require to be built. Any character can do special 2s even at level 1 gears. But you could make the argument of building him a little bit in order for him to have a safe time doing that one. And again, he can do some decent stuff himself if he's built, but other than the point of surviving is just for the fun factor and don't even need to do that. Next up, we're going to have Just League Aquaman. He's going to be in the classic Just League team. That will be the Just League Flash, Just League Cyber, and Just League Aquaman. And this team is not necessarily going to be a team for the long run, because they're going to get swapped around and he's going to lose his place over there. But most of you will most likely be for a very long time stuck with this team, and don't get me wrong, it's a very good team. So if you wanted to build Just League Aquaman just to have a little bit of a better time using that team, I could understand that. I could get behind that. Next up, I got Silver Superman, again a member in the Just League Superman, Just League Cyborg team. And Silver Batman can be in that team without being upgraded. He just needs to be there because he's a Batman character and he buffs Superman by doing that. And at the same time, for his passive, that gives them a little bit more crit. But at the same time, it's going to be pretty decent if built, so you could build him. Don't necessarily recommend it, but you could build him if you wanted to. Next up, Black Adam is going to be like somewhat of an 7th, 8th best damage dealer, 9th best damage dealer. It's going to be a pretty solid damage dealer, but that just doesn't make it into the top 6. So while this should not be a priority for you, I could see a reason why you would build Black Adam. Next up, we got Batman or Joker. If you have Batman Catwoman with at least 3 gears, don't touch Batman or Joker. But if you don't have Batman Catwoman or you have no gears on her, he will do well as a substitute for her in the Batman team as a damage dealer until you get her. Darkseid. He's a great tank, he's a pretty good damage dealer, he's a pretty good support character, but he's only great in Arena and Champions Arena and raids and soul raids, not being that valuable. So yet again, I see a reason why you'd want to build Darkseid, but not the priority. Raiden does split damage with special 3 towards the entire enemy team, so that's great for Arena and Champions Arena. I see why you would want to build him, but again, not the priority. Atlantic Armor Aquaman, maybe the best character for Champions Arena, or definitely one of the best. Great for Arena, has armor pierce, has power drain, has healing, but he's not very useful in raids and soul raids. In soul raids, you can use him in some fights where they require power drain, but other than that, not much. So I see the reason why you would want to build him, but again, don't rush it. Mythic Wonder Woman. Not Mythic, actually also Mythic Wonder Woman. So yeah, both Golden Armor Wonder Woman and Mythic Wonder Woman are going to be decent in Arena and Champions Arena. Like, pretty good, not gonna lie. But other than that, no reason to upgrade them. The Suicide Squad, they're going to be great in Arena and Champions Arena. I'm not going to lie to you, but when you have a team with 2 hard to get legendary characters that don't come with gears and you need to either pay $10 a piece for their gears, not a piece, $10 for each one of them for their gears. It doesn't sound good, but if you somehow get there, they're going to do well in Arena and Champions Arena. So yeah, as you have seen so far, we had a trend of characters that are might be worth getting a little bit upgrade for Arena and Champions Arena because they are that good. And now we're going to have 2 situational characters, Hellboy and Jon Stewart Green Lantern. Those characters are very good when you have to fight fights that have hazards in them, like hazards, things on the ground that deal that damage to you or power drain you. Those guys are going to be good tanks for that. So if you need help with that, that's fine, build them. But at the same time, you don't necessarily need to do that, and you have other ways around it. So yeah, it depends. Boy, oh boy, the Blade Master Robin. Didn't think I'll ever say this, but look, he can be an okay combo builder, so I would see a reason why you would want to invest some resources into him. He can be a decent combo builder. Same thing with Silver Robin, same thing with Speed Force Flash. Again, if you build the right teams and if you're following the pattern of the best teams in the game, you should never need to build those things. But if you feel like you need a combo builder for whatever reason, those guys are going to be okay to invest in, though again, I don't really recommend it. So yeah, this was a pretty long one. But yeah, let's get into the next tier. Okay, now we got get to level 60 gears, then maybe to 70 gears. Let me introduce that again for you. It means that those characters are definitely going to be a worthwhile investment getting to level 60 gears, but at the same time, you are in no rush to get them to level 70 gears because the improvement in their performance will not be that huge. So first of all, Speed Force Flash is going to be a staple in one of the best teams in the entire game, being the Silver Banshee team. Not necessarily always there, because we'll discuss about other options there, but he's going to be an all-around good combo builder. But that's the thing, he's a combo builder. With level 60 gears, you can get him to max fast attack chance, max defense, max resistances, and about 35k or more health if you got the perfect build. And that's like more than enough. Like, you could take him to level 70 gears if you like got nothing else that you want to invest your resources in, but this man is going to have a good time at level 60 gears, so there's no rush getting to those level 70 gears. Next up, we're going to have Shazam. Yet again, he's going to be a support character and he can be very good for Arena and Champions Arena. He can even act like a combo builder, though he's a little bit annoying when he triggers his special tree for no reason, so that's something to keep in mind. But again, he will perform amazingly at level 60 gears. I kept one Shazam on my accounts even at 40 gears. He didn't need to be upgraded for that for a long time. So yeah, he's amazing. But honestly, since you're only putting on him defense, resistances, health, and fast actions, getting him to a higher gear rating will just give you more health. And honestly, you don't really need it. Next up, Multiverse the Flash. He'll be mainly a combo builder for Multiverse Armored Supergirl, and he will eventually need to be taken to level 70 gears because he also deals some damage himself. And believe it or not, even though he's a combo builder and the tank, he also have some attack squeezed in there because that's just the build for him, and the damage output for him is really worth having that additional attack. So eventually you have a reason to get him to level 70 gears, but honestly you are not in a huge rush. Next up, Silver Dr. Fate, one of the best combo builders in the entire game alongside Killfly and Psycho Man. We all love Silver Dr. Fate, we all want to see him to level 60 gears, but again, not really a huge reason to get him to level 70 gears. Combo builder, health, defense, fast actions, resistances, getting him to a higher gear rating will only bring more health, and that's not really needed. Martian Manhunter, like this is a rough one, and this is something that a lot of you will not do for a long time, because honestly this guy is not a priority, but I thought I'd mention him here because, hear me out, if you're going to have a maxed out Silver Banshee team in Rise of Krypton steroids, then Martian Manhunter will be the best combo builder. In any other scenario, and I mean maxed out with maxed out Rise of the Krypton artifacts, in any other scenario in the game, this guy is not worth upgrading or going for. You're better off using Reverse Flash. So if any of you gets to that point, first of all, tell all of us how you managed, and second of all, yeah, you can build him all the way to level 60 gears, maybe eventually to 70. So there's kind of a reason out there, but for most of you, this guy will most likely be in the get to 60 if you want to just believe it was worthwhile mentioning. Ace Green Arrow is going to be a must-have in the normal race Black Manta team, because Black Manta in normal race usually hits phase 4, and he's going to act as a double damage dealer with Black Manta, having also all blades equipped, so you can definitely get him to 60 gears to be a little bit tanky, to not get killed by the Brainiac phase 4 basic attacks, and at the same time have a little bit of damage to contribute in there, and eventually you can get him to level 70 gears to increase that efficiency in terms of damage from his side, but you are in no rush to do that. Brainiac, he passively buffs Manta, and he's going to be in the Manta team always, so definitely get him to level 60 gears, but again, no rush to get him to 70. Just like Flash, he will eventually be a support character for Black Manta in some fights, in other fights for Last Ever Joker. Depends on the fight, depends on the scenario, but until you get to that point, you are going to use Just League Flash a lot as a damage dealer. Let's be honest here, a lot of you, and including myself, are very hard from the point where they are going to have Black Manta team build and are going to use Just League Flash as support character. And in the meantime, you can use him as a pretty damn good damage dealer, and in the long run, even if you eventually incorporate him in one of those other teams where he just sits as a passive support character, he will most likely still make up alongside Just League Cyborg and either Aquaman or Superman the best team to auto battle in campaign and clear fights that way. So yeah, next up, Just Like Cyborg, like, he's definitely worth getting to level 60 gears, because he's going to be alongside Just Like Superman, and he can be kind of his combo builder, Superman being the damage dealer, and in some fights even in race they need to tag in and out, but other than that, he doesn't do that much. The days where he was the damage dealer are kind of gone, but he will be a good secondary damage dealer when you fight fights that have energy timer that will kill you, like Brainiac phase 4, Brainiac in pretty much anywhere where you need to power drain Darkseid and Rise of Krypton Soul Raids, so he'll get tagged in quite often, and he will do his fair share while not being a main damage dealer, so definitely worthwhile getting to level 60 gears, but in no rush to get to level 70 gears. Next up, Predator Batman, jack of all trades, almost master of everything. He's a beast in arena. He can deal some decent amount of damage in Raids and Stories, though take that with a grain of salt, and he can be a combo builder for Server Banshee, disable the enemy's special attacks with Special 1. So you can get him to level 60 gears, you're in no rush to do that either right now. He's going to be available in the Arena store, so a lot of you will have access to him. So he's worthwhile, but don't rush level 70 gears, it's not that worth it. So that's all for this year, let's get to the next one. So over here we got get to 60, then to 70. This means that you should definitely get those to level 60 gears. You should definitely get those to level 70 gears. But the characters that are going to be a tier above are going to take priority getting to level 70 gears over the ones below because of a few reasons. Entangling Poison Ivy, definitely get her to level 60 gears. She's going to be a combo builder for Last Ever Joker in terms of fighting Phase 1 and Gorilla Grodd in normal raids. And the thing is, in terms of tanking and healing Last Ever Joker, she will do the deal with level 60 gears. You eventually need to get her to level 70 gears to kind of optimize the damage that she deals. And the second reason is the fact that if you're using her in the Heartbreak Harley Quinn team, then she doesn't need to be built at all, because she will take the role as only a support character. Next up, Last Left the Joker. The thing with Last Left the Joker, I put him here because, well, he's in the best, and he might actually be called the best damage dealer for normal raids. He's going to perform garbage in most fights in terms of soul raids. So while an investment in him is not a bad investment, and an investment in him is going to be a good investment on the long run in normal raids, in soul raids it's not going to pay off that much, so definitely get him to level 60 gears, but don't prioritize him to level 70. Like, get him eventually there, but not the priority. Just like Superman, pretty much the same reason as Last Left the Joker, but kind of reverse roles. Like, Just Like Superman is one of the top 6 teams in terms of soul raids, but not in terms of normal raids. And the Multiverse Armored Supergirl, yet again, she is definitely top 6 teams in terms of normal rates, but not always top 60 in soul rates. So yeah, definitely get her to 60, definitely get her to 70, but not before the characters that we are going to discuss in the tier above. So yeah, again, I don't want to be misunderstood with this tier over here. Every single character of those 4 in this tier, and maybe thinking back on it, Multiverse Flash could have been pumped up there, are going to be worth getting to level 70 gears, and worth getting to level 70 gears as soon as you are able to. But before you're able to do that, we've got our priorities that we're going to discuss about now. Okay, so getting into the very last tier, get to level 70 gears, and before getting into it, let me clarify something. It doesn't mean that those characters should be taken straight away to level 70 gears. It means that when you get to the point where you want to get characters to level 70 gears, those should be the first ones you take there. But other than that, you should only take characters to level 70 gears once you got a bunch of them at 60 gears, and you literally don't have anything else that might be worth or might be a priority getting at level 60 gears. Like, definitely don't get anything to level 70 gears unless you have upgrade level 60 gears all the characters in the first 3 tiers of the list. I guess except Ace, Green Arrow, Brainiac, and Predator Batman, since they can wait and you don't have to do that. But other than that, until you got most of them, with whichever gears they have to level 60 gears, then definitely don't take anything to level 70 gears. And I'm talking about what's available to you, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, like, get those characters, then get into level 60 gears, and then get something to level 70 gears. I'm just saying that if you see anything here in your roster, get that to 60 before you get anything to 70. But yeah, getting into this, you'll find only damage dealers here, with one exception that we're going to talk about. Kilmflan Sakoman, all of you are going to have him. He's going to be in the League Store. It's going to be amazing getting to level 70 gears. Most likely this will be the first character in everybody's roster that will get to level 70 gears, and that's definitely not a bad thing. Zero Banshee, definitely worth getting to level 70 gears for that little bit additional damage. Batman Catwoman, boy oh boy, definitely get her to level 70 gears. And especially because she has so many variables in terms of percentages that she needs to take advantage of. Like, she needs lethal, fast attack chance, critical attack chance, critical attack damage. And increasing those will be definitely great. And yeah, you almost like get them maxed at level 60 or close to maxed, and then with the perfect build for level 70 you need to 70 to get the max. But yeah, you get what I'm saying, hopefully. Then Batman Chocola Growth, he's a character on this list that's not a damage dealer. He's a combo builder, he's the best combo builder in the game, and he deals tons of damage. So that, and at the same time, he has very many variables at Batman Catwoman. Crit chance, crit damage, little attack chance, little attack damage. Those percentages don't get to max by themselves, and getting 70 gears will help you out with that, definitely. Black Manta, one of the best damage dealers in the game, and Heartbreak Harley Quinn. Granted, this will most likely be one, it will be a long time until any of you most likely watching this video will get Arkham Knight, Badminton, Poison Ivy, and Gears for Heartbreak Harley Quinn for you to be able to upgrade her. Kind of the same with Manta. Those two last here are going to be hard to get. I know that. I'm not saying that you should get out of your way to get those characters, but I'm saying you have the opportunity to build those characters, definitely focus on them. But yeah, this was my tier list, and at the end of the day, you can build anything you want, really. I don't care that much what you do with your account. I'm just trying to tell you what would be the best thing to do with your account. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you found this helpful. Let me know what's your opinion overall on this one. And subscribe and I'll see you all in the next one, I guess. Goodbye.